Hi, I'm Nancy, and I'd like to show you these wonderful Physio Ed resistance loops. They come in a set of 5 with different levels of resistance, and there you could do all kinds of upper body exercises. We're going to focus on core work today. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to try this with me or if you'd like to just watch what's available to you, is I'm going to start with the band inside my ankles. Using the band inside the ankles, the knees can be slightly bent or fully bent. The ankles can be relaxed or flexed, but just pulling against those bands is really working the outer thighs from the knees up to the hips. I can also use this resistance band as a bit of a spacer. Right now it's creating the space that I want, about a hip width distance between my heels. I can move my legs out from side to side and get a nice little oblique work with my legs being spaced by that band. Shifting one leg forward, one leg back, I can just pull the legs away from one another with the knees perfectly straight or slightly bent. And once again, I'm going to feel this wonderful work coming straight out of the hips, but also working through the thighs. The bands can be moved above the knees. And now this is going to be a little bit more focused. I'm going to keep my inner feet together and just move the knees away from each other and together. This work is going to start to move into my buttocks. I'm going to feel that work. The great thing is that if it's too hard or too easy, you can either bump up or bump down with the amount of resistance that you're using. Thinking again of the band as a spacer, I can come down, keep that band just above the knees, and slowly work up into my bridges without those knees splaying too much. Shifting over to a side-lying position. I can use the bands in the clamshell position, just lifting that top knee up and really focusing on the hip joint of the top leg. If I separate the feet and move that leg forward and back, I'm going to notice that resistance takes a move that you can easily do without the bands, but it makes it a little bit more challenging and creates a little bit of structure as well. Coming back into the back lying position, I can shift that band down to my thighs and just take a step open with my legs and then together. Open and together. Open and together, legs up. Same idea. I'm just going to take those legs open and together. Open and together. Open and together. If I shift this to my feet, lifting the head up, almost like a slingshot, I'm going to pull one knee in, push the other leg out, bring the head up, and then come to center, and then shift, and then shift. Really pushing the band away with one foot as I use the other foot to pull the band towards me. One pushing, one pulling, lots of resistance, lots of core. Bringing the bands to the hands, believe it or not, will still use my core. Feet on the floor. As I exhale, if I pull the hands away from each other and engage my core, I feel the arms, but I also can feel my abdominal muscles supporting that movement. I'm going to keep it in my hands, come back into the bridge, use that as a spacer to take my hands behind me, and then as the hips come down, the hands can too. Creates a lot of control, a lot of structure. I'm going to keep my hips up, add the hands up, and just make a little circle. That rotation is going to feel really good. This can be a stretching tool as well as a toning tool. Let's do that one more time. And then we're going to take that basic idea, back between the feet, legs up, creating that spacer, and I'm just going to rotate my feet. It's like my heels are coming right around my hips. I can move that both ways. So again, we can use this strengthening between the feet, opening wide between the ankles, taking that same movement above the knees and open. And then as a spacer, hips up, band on. Wonderful tool for the core, for both the lower body and the upper body. Resistance loops.